So, short confession, I've never read this. Boo! So, this is going to be a first. I went through kind of like a kind of moment of not really wanting to write any poetry ever about love. And perhaps quite ironically ended up writing poetry about not wanting to write poetry about love. So I also kind of figured out that I don't have to title things. So I went through and made about 5 poems, having not titled any of them at all. So I'm kind of just going to rattle through them, I hope that's okay. I don't want to write a poem about love because I want to see it as something that isn't self-possessed, as a body who doesn't step neatly into the hole carved out by itself on someone else's sleeve, that doesn't dance nicely, neatly, gently, to the rhythm of romantic chords and accords not quite said out loud called romantic, but instead places sentiment onto a stage and shapes it into a walrus, and watches it scream at windows it can't jump out of. I don't want to write a poem about love because my best friend took the waltz's place, pushed out too many narcotics from their circular spaces and tried unsuccessfully to jump through. I don't want to write a poem about love when love is the place of walruses displaced through this language. The multiple walrus, next to the multiples of walrus, still staring at love and the cuffs it's carved itself into, taking communication away from itself and jumping out of windows. This will contain a certain lack of polish. It will look like it was rubbed by the walrus, clumsy flippers. Is it wise, should I say, tell language it's easier to feel around with fingers than flippers, easier to strike? I don't usually possess the desire to apply boot polish to language, even if it should materialize underfoot. Paving language, paving meaning, sidewalks. We polish bodies when placing them 6 feet beneath the surface. I do repeat this with words when I don't mean more. A funeral for constriction, a funeral for no more, a funeral for demarcation, but which ground do we mean? The edge of the surface we walk on, or the break that barriers what is known and what will be, something to do with potential and the unknowable. I found the walrus again, in the soft passages of time, feeling its way around the carpeting, but that's another debate, which could end in crisis, though only a small one if the personal can be considered small. In the grand scheme of things, wherever you go, there you are. I said it. The walrus taking pride in a confession when it's meant. I've said those words to no one else. In saying so, you are implicated. I blurt out to you the whole, the self-labelled I, the self-labelled you without reflexive pronouns, the self-labelled them, the self-labelled hurt, breathless, blue lips and blackened, it's all cliched. Something else to feed, why aren't you eating passing stars, trees, sheep, dilapidated horses, beer bottles on brick walls, faces going and coming, walking to wherever lectures, multiple things with a single name, named and marks on land, people, places, beds, something else to be seen or sink into, with days and dreaming. As if brain functions over a lifetime look like a hotel room lobby in which valets push thoughts around on golden trolleys that shine that have been recently polished. Oh fuck, we're back to polish again. I saw a headline lying in print on an underground seat saved for no one. Breaking, it said, as it told me about what to think about capitalism and present post-factualism. A present expression of interest to take up the page, a fitting marrow of truth to bare bones. There are no true pictures of the past to stream by, only what to make of them and a lifetime map of discrepancies. You sit and watch the immediate world pass while I contemplate the figure that is you, escaping into something else I don't have a name for that I still call it love. Keep love up and carry you on. You and I, walrus, the softer, you and I, the walrus, the softer, looking up to and at you, covering something else like a film. The carriage stops and you stand, I stand exiting behind you, air rushing faster forward, pushing past and through. I follow you, you shout back at me. You can't shout loud enough for it to pass all the way through. I nod. I have no idea what I've agreed to. Like smiling back at the number 78 written on the corner of a brick wall, I don't really understand it either. There are not enough spaces for your voice to fit through. There are not enough spaces for me in the new skin that I grew, play with it. I could never tell with what it seems. I smile, frequently thinking of her scent in the morning, arrows pointing towards sex, arrows pointing towards wood smoke, arrows pointing towards scorched chocolate, all arrow pointing towards sweet, points towards soot, towards cinders, from stargazing in the night and staring at shared recipes for hummus, finding her frustrated by lost boots while shaving in the shower, by grey light on a foggy morning. The walrus, so often stuck back to brick walls, arrows, breathing, but warm, sincerely sold a thing called love by sentiment. I smile, through the sensation of her tongue over this clenched body, pointing, buckled, her fingers trying to gouge the girl she wants but can't have out of me, instead finding only walruses. If, the many conditionals aligned the towards repeating walrus there to strike up a bargain. Again, for the painting towards relentlessness. Walruses are there to begin again. I smile, apologizing for the arrow pointing towards repentant walrus, clambering into the closet, searching for more windows to stare out of. I smile, and the walruses do too. I smile, sometimes wondering how many there are for her to find.